Okay, DE students, it is your last week of school for the 1920 school year. You have 2 more Arduino sketches that you're going to create this week and simulate inside of Tinkercad. Same as last week, there's a worksheet that goes with them. So I'm going to walk you through the activity guide, and then you guys are going to have the rest of the week to get these done. The deadline for every single assignment for Q4 for digital electronics is going to be this Friday, June 12th at 11:59 p.m. I have to finalize grades on Monday, so please make sure you have everything turned in by Friday, so that way you get an accurate picture of what you accomplished for Q4. So now, let's take a look at this week's assignments. All right, DE students, so this is Intro to Microcontrollers Part 2. This builds on the work that we did last week, so let's take a look at what you are completing. So again, we are going to be working with Arduinos inside of Tinkercad. Again, if you would like to either work in the cloud in Arduino IDE instead of coding in Tinkercad, you can either do that in the cloud or you can download and install the Arduino IDE software at this website. So the first circuit that you're going to complete this week is called the Digital Read serial, and the goal of this circuit is to create a new sketch that reads a push button and prints the outputs to a serial monitor. So it's a way to get information from your circuit in the Arduino. So again, we are going to be in Tinkercad, so make sure you use the login to Google option. And then you're going to open your push button circuit from last week. It should be saved in your profile. So you should be able to double click on it and open it within your Tinkercad login. And then you should remember what your push button circuit looks like. It looks like this. So if you for some reason don't have it, this is a good opportunity to get it or put it back together. And then once you have that push button sketch open, you are going to define a constant integer named button pin assigned to pin 12 of the Arduino. You need to define your variable integer to button state equals 0. And then in your void setup loop, you're going to add a line that says add serial begin 9600. And this is to initialize the serial communication at 9600 bits per second. And then you need to add a pin mode function so that the variable button pin becomes an input. Then inside of your void loop, you need to make sure that you are reading the input button and that the button state is equal to the digital read on your button pin. And then you're going to print the state of the button to the monitor. So that is serial.printin with button state in parentheses. You're going to need to add a delay of 1 so you can see the change when it's writing to the monitor. And then you're going to open the serial monitor, which is down at the bottom in Tinkercad, and then typically I would verify that it's working. I'm going to do that based upon your screenshots, code, and the link that you post to your Tinkercad circuit. You're then going to go into the worksheet and you are going to complete the question, add a screenshot, copy and paste your code, and do not forget to attach a link to your circuit in Tinkercad, please. So that first one was pretty simple. It was just a modification of the push button circuit. This one we're going to use a different type of sensor, and that is the PIR Digital Read serial circuit. So you're going to use a PIR, and after establishing your serial communication between your Arduino and your computer, we're going to use it to detect whether or not we have motion. So you're going to log into Tinkercad, and you're going to need a breadboard and a PIR sensor. And the circuit looks like this. So let's bounce over to Tinkercad really quickly and take a look at how to insert these items and where they are located. Okay, DE students, we are back in Tinkercad to simulate our Arduino. I'm going to show you where to find the parts for the PIR Digital Read circuit. So the first thing, of course, is to come over here and change from basic to all. That's going to allow us to see all of the components that we need. So I am going to scroll down through, and under inputs I have my PIR sensor, so I am going to click and drag that to my work area. And then we're just going to leave the naming alone. I am going to continue to scroll down, and I am going to look for my Arduino and my breadboard. So here's my breadboard. I'm going to drag that over to the work area. And then the last thing I need is my Arduino Uno. Now remember, you can rotate all of these over here using this little button. So if I click this, it's going to rotate my Arduino on 30 degrees. And if I select my PIR, I can also rotate it in 30-degree increments as well. So those are the components that you're going to need for this circuit. So make sure you take a look at the image that is back in the activity guide and get this circuit wired up. All right, so once you have inserted those items into the build area of Tinkercad, you're going to use what you learned in the digital read with the push button to create a sketch that's going to detect motion and print the state of the motion sensor to the Arduino serial monitor. So if motion is detected, the PIR dome should light up and send a signal out to the LED wired to pin 13 on the Arduino. To test this, make sure the sensor is in a location with no movement. Again, we're doing this digitally, so you're gonna have to play around a little bit to make sure that you are getting a good readout from that PIR sensor to that LED to detect motion. And then once you have finished this, again, you're going to insert a screenshot of your circuit into the worksheet, copy and paste your code, and attach a link from Tinkercad. And then your submissions that are due at the end of this week are the worksheet and the circuit. So please make sure you have those both attached. That due date is incorrect, as your due date is actually 6/12 of this week. And you need to make sure everything is in by 6/12 because that is the end of the quarter and I need to finalize grades on Monday. And that is it. That's everything for this week. So make sure that you get those assignments turned in by 11:59 p.m. on Friday. So that way they're included in your quarter 4 grade. And then I will be available for office hours this week and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.